Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 8:38 a.m. This is News and Views on Salam Media, and we cross over to Ladysmith in KZN, and we'll be talking with Brother Abed Karrim. He's the Imdaad Foundation's coordinator of local projects and a resident of Ladysmith. And very sad to say that I think every year when the rainy season starts, the people of Ladysmith are truly in a state of panic and worry, because it seems that year after year we revisit the same old conversation, and that is the loss of life, the loss of property, damage to property, and the utter devastation by floods. So let's hear what is the latest by Abed Karrim and the Al Imdaad Foundation. Assalamu alaikum, welcome.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you and the listeners from a bright and sunny Ladysmith.
Oh, alhamdulillah for that. But that doesn't mean that your mop-up operations come to a standstill, does it? There's lots and lots of hard work ahead of you.
100% correct. And just to bring the listeners back to the events and the situation here in Ladysmith, on Monday evening, there was a very, very heavy downpour of rain, I would say for over 2 hours. And that has now compounded the problem. And as you rightfully had said, that it's a continuous problem here in Ladysmith. I can remember from the time I've been through 16 floods myself over the years. And when the dam came about, yes, we had some relief. But came Monday evening, it was pouring around Ladysmith, starting from Escort. I was traveling from Al Imdaad's offices to Ladysmith, and I could not even see the road on the way from Escort to Ladysmith. Coming to the situation here in Ladysmith, as we had spoken 10 days ago, with the drownings that took place here in Ladysmith and the downpour and the flash floods. In 10 days' time, we go back to square one again with the flooding. And this time around, it was all around the CBD that happened last year, if you remember, in the January season of the rain. And on Monday night, we were activated by disaster management at the local level here in Ladysmith to say, look, we need assistance. There are people that have been, displaced and are moving out of their homes, more specifically in the CBD of Ladysmith. So not only the CBD, also it is an area also out of Ladysmith known as Matiwan Skop. There were about 29 families whose homes were already flooded and were in an inconvenient situation. Not far out of Ladysmith is another place known as Stedville, which is near our Kabaristan. There were about 25 people that have also been flooded out. Now we're talking the time about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the night. All this is happening. It's pouring rain. People are walking in knee-high water here, especially in the CBD area, coming out of their flats and their homes and all these places and moving towards the indoor complex. So the Al Imdaad Foundation disaster teams were activated, and we were on the ground at that part of the night, going late into the morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, arranging for blankets, mattresses, hygiene packs, which we have in our warehouses, and helping the displaced people. Also, was very important to understand that many of them did not even have transport to get to the indoor stadium, which is outside Ladysmith. It's about 2 kilometers from where the flooding took place. So our transport, our vehicles, our teams had helped all these victims to be transported to the indoor stadium. But I want to just add, there was a lady who was, she was expecting, and she was carrying a baby in her hand, also with her friends, neighbors, and families. And, we had to even ask her to please get into our vehicles, and we took her to the stadium. So the situation is as follows as we talk right now. Yesterday at the indoor, there were 79 plus families that are housed there. Hopefully today they should be going back, because the water in their area has also gone down, so they could get access to their homes. And as you rightfully said, that the mopping up can take place and the cleaning out, etc. So on the night of Monday, when we had brought all these victims to the hall, we had given out blankets, mattresses to sleep on the floor. There were hygiene packs. Then there are about 9 infants that are there. We had diapers for them. We had arranging for, formula food, etc., and also hot meals. I also at this point must state that it was not only Al Imdaad that was involved, there are other NGOs that also came on board to help. Checkers Soup Kitchen was there. The South African Red Cross had come in also with food parcels, etc. The Gift of the Givers, and amongst them, many other members of the community had got involved. So today, the situation is going to be reassessed, and I've also been informed this morning by Disaster Management. The Minister of Corporate Governments and Traditional Affairs will be doing an oversight and a meeting with all, role players to assess the situation of the displaced people. The way forward, SASA was there, DSD, all these, sector departments were involved. So our role as the Al Imdaad Foundation continues. Yesterday we did hot meals in Matiwanskop. We did hot meals here and helping the community. So this is the situation right now on the ground with the victims of this flood. And again, after 10 days, again, Ladysmith is again in the news, and we still got another 2-3 months more for the summer season. And just make dua that everything stabilizes and the ummah at large does not go through these kind of situations. And also to compound this whole problem, on the night of this storm and the rains, there was no electricity in the CBD. There's no water and so forth. So it also gives us a little bit of a taste of what our brethren are happening there in Gaza with those situations. Allah make it easy for them and all over the world where the Muslims are in challenges. So this is basically the situation here in Ladysmith. We can give an update later. After this morning, we go in for a assessment reports and the way forward, and to see whether the displaced people can be taken back to their home for their cleaning up and getting their life back into normality, hopefully.
Now, you mentioned our Palestinian brothers and sisters, and as you were talking, my mind went to them as well. At least here, there's so much of help to try and get people back on their feet. Let me ask you, we talk about the situation year after year. It seems as if the people of Ladysmith believe that more help needs to be forthcoming from government. Aid agencies like yourself, Al Imdaad, are doing sterling work and always continue doing that. But they are wanting government to become more involved. How do you see that playing out, number one? And number two, don't you think it's now time for a relocation plan? Because the people of Ladysmith can't have the scenario repeating itself year after year.
I agree with you. With regards to relocation, is going to be a very, very expensive, exercise, I think, for government. Some 30 years back, when we had the former regime in place, there was discussion of the river to be diverged to a different area, but it was not possible because the town planning at that time, the river is running right past the Sufi Masjid. If the listeners can visualize, is passing through the CBD, and when this what waters that come through, it has caused a lot of problem. Yes, 2 years ago there was discussions of having the river cleaned out, all the extra silt to be moved out, and there was an entire report that was put together last year. And what we found was, about 2 months ago, the local municipality started desilting the river, but not to a point where you could say that this waters will not overflow and so forth. Two, the stormwater drain is a huge problem. If you look at the situation that had taken place just a day ago, there was no bursting of the riverbanks. The municipality, we should also mention that they had put on the new valves. They spent about 19 million or some point that we heard, and they had put all the new valves and to stop the excess water from the river flowing into the CBD and other areas, residential areas. So I think more needs to be done with regarding to resilting. Another discussion that had come out was that the former Windsor Dam, if our listeners can remember, that used to control before the new dam was built, is to desilt that entire dam and use that as a retention water also for the Ladysmith area. So you have two dams. One is already built, is in everything. All you need to do there, I would understand from what we are picking up from discussions with the municipality, is that to desilt that entire dam. So hopefully this discussion will be taken forward today with the MSC by the officials and the authorities that are in power, that we need to look at this thing. And as you rightfully say again, that this is a continuous problem, and people are, food is being, destroyed. They just bought their food. There is nothing in their homes. So as the Al Imdaad Foundation, inshallah, we hope to continue helping out post the flood, because that's when the need is even more, because people don't have anything to eat. They're not in a situation where they can be also getting back onto their feet. I mean, you had the floods last year. Last year, when we had the floods, it was the same situation. We had to spend 3 months trying to help the community. So inshallah, let's make dua that these matters, get sorted out by the authorities, and we all together can assist the communities and get them back on their feet, hopefully.
Inshallah, Ameen. Thank you indeed for talking to us. Our du'as with you. And undoubtedly, we'll talk some more to find out what progress has been made. Keep safe. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair for giving us an opportunity to inform the listeners of Salam Media of the happenings here in Ladysmith. Jazakallah khair.
It is exactly 8:49. News and views on Salam Media. Standing by to talk with us now is lawyer and Palestine activist Tasneem Fredericks. We're going to be looking at the ICJ case against Israel by South Africa.